Today we're going to go through a release for our psoas and our iliacus. So these are two muscles. The psoas originates in the low back, so from these transverse processes in the lumbar spine, it wraps around to the hip. It plays a role in both flexing the hip, but an even bigger role in stabilizing through the spine. And then we've got another hip flexor, our iliacus. It's going to sit right inside this part of our hip here, and it's going to also help to flex the hip. The problem with these muscles is they often become tight. They can cause pain or even pull on the low part of our back. So if you spend any amount of time sitting at a computer, driving in a car, commuting to work, sitting on your phone, sitting to eat dinner, you get the point. If you spend any amount of time sitting, there's a good chance that these areas could be tight on you. So if you either feel pain in that area or you have a history of pain in your low back, this is a quick try on your own way to release those muscles. That being said, just keep in mind, this is probably not the only thing that you've got to do. It's possible those muscles are weak, that there's a lot of other things going on. But for this release here, what we're going to do is we're going to use a lacrosse ball and a kettlebell, or really anything that's got some weight to it. A dumbbell would work just fine. To find my psoas, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sink in through my abdomen. So I've got to find my belly button and this point on the front of my hip here, my ASIS. What I'm going to do is go about a third of the way down. So I'm going to start at my belly button, make my way about a third of the way down, and that's a good place to put that lacrosse ball. I'm going to then lay on my back. The kettlebell is going to be giving the pressure there, and I'm going to go through a heel slide. So I'm going to do that for you right now. So I'm on my back. I've got pressure down from this kettlebell. I'm sliding my heel up and back. It probably will feel a little bit tender, a little bit painful. As you start to release that muscle, you may even feel that it gives you that nice release. Go through at least 15 heel slides there. See how that feels. Make sure that you don't feel any sort of like heartbeat or pulsing sensation there, just because of the location in the abdomen there. We want to be careful that we're not pressing too much on the blood supply. And then we're going to go into our iliacus. So that iliacus, we're going to just come onto our hips, rest our hands on our hips, and wrap them around. And what we're going to do is we're going to place that ball just inside of the bone. So not right on top of the bone, I'm just inside of it to where that muscle sits. And the movement with this one is going to be a bent knee fall out. Good, so I've got that pressure here. Angle that weight a little bit so that you can really get under the bone and into the muscle. Bring your knee up and drop it down to the side and back up. Each one, try to get a little bit further and go through at least 15.